administrations. Joining us now is Alabama Congressman Gary Palmer. Congressman Palmer, so I know that you were against the impeachment when it was in the lower chamber, and now we've kind of seen this whole process play out into the Senate. Yesterday, of course, President Trump was acquitted from both charges that were brought against him. What's your response now that we've seen the conclusion to the impeachment saga?
Well, it was the conclusion of a farce, a conspiracy to remove a president from office. I don't think the country's ever seen anything quite like this, where one body of Congress abused its power to the extent that the Democrats did on the House side, denying due process, refusing to allow our side, the Republican side, to call witnesses, refusing to give the president his right to representation in these hearings. So it was really a political coup attempt that, thank God, failed miserably.
And, you know, for the most part, it was kind of along party lines. Of course, as we said, Senator Mitt Romney did vote along with Democrats on the abuse of power charge against the president, but it wasn't nearly anything close enough to, of course, reach that two-thirds threshold in order to remove the president. One person that a lot of people were looking at was, of course, the senator from your home state, Doug Jones. People thought that he may try to kind of save face among the people of Alabama by kind of siding with Republicans on this issue. Did his vote in favor of removal of the president, does that reflect the views of the people of Alabama?
No, it wouldn't have mattered if he'd voted to acquit.
Yeah.
Senator Jones, who is a nice enough guy, is in the U.S. Senate for one reason only, and that was his opponent was Judge Roy Moore. Any other Republican, I think, would have defeated him and defeated him decisively. And with all due respect to Senator Jones, I think that will be the outcome. Whoever wins the Republican primary will win the general.
Yeah, and of course we've heard that.
I think Doug Jones, there was no real political consequences for this vote.
And we said that, too, that because of that actually may have been prompting his kind of a vote against the president. It wouldn't have made too much of a difference, especially now that we're hearing that former Attorney General Jeff Sessions will probably be running for that seat. He is a very popular figure in that home state, so it's going to be kind of interesting to see exactly how they try to match up in that election going forward. But we're in a time right now, too, where the Democratic primaries are kind of up in flux right now. I mean, we've seen the Iowa caucus basically go haywire, and we know that coming up in the 2020 election season, the House is going to once again be up for grabs, not only the presidency. What is the GOP outlook going into November of 2020?
Well, first of all, on the Iowa caucuses, I think what that shows us is that the Democrats themselves are a greater threat to their own election security than the Russians. This is a debacle that I don't know that they can recover from. In terms of the Republican outlook, I think we will be running on what we've accomplished for the people, what this administration's accomplished for the people, and it's extraordinary. I know the president is given to hyperbole at times, but he's absolutely right. We've never seen anything like it. And it's all been focused on how we can improve people's lives, make their lives better. And going forward, that's going to be what we're doing. We're not running against Nancy Pelosi or Chuck Schumer. We're running for the American people and what we can do to make their lives even better based on what we've done already. So I think looking at what's happened with the majority in the House, with zero accomplishments, putting the country through this very painful ordeal, attacking the president, attacking his family, attacking his associates, and that's all they have to show for their majority. I think we're in a great position to take back the majority, and I think can do it in such a way that we can actually govern.
And Representative Palmer, the president, of course, made his State of the Union address on Tuesday. We saw that you kind of issued a response saying that he was right on point for a lot of the things that he was saying during that address. And I think a big theme of it was kind of laying out the difference between his economic policies against the ones that are being proposed by the other side. He didn't necessarily use any names of people that he'll be running against in 2020, but we've heard people like Senator Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, kind of lay out these very expansive, reformative type of economic policies, whether it be a wealth tax, undoing, I should say, the GOP tax bill, things like that. Do you think that that is really what the election will come down to for not only the president, but other House lawmakers as well, kind of differentiating this more capitalistic type policy against the more socialistic policies that are being put forth by Democrats?
No, I think that what we're going to be campaigning on is the policies that benefit the American people. And I don't think the American people want to give up their liberty in exchange for being totally dependent on the government. I think what the president did, and those were a few points that he made, but the main points that he made was the tremendous progress that this administration's made against unbelievable opposition. I made this comment to the president last week that when this is all said and done, and at the end of his second term, he's out of office, people will look back on what this administration has accomplished under the circumstances that they had to operate under, and it will be something remarkable in the history of the country.
Yeah, and you know, tomorrow is actually the Democratic debate, so we're kind of going to hear their response to a lot of the things that the president said on Tuesday and a lot of things that you're championing right now. But Representative Palmer, thank you very much for joining us tonight.
My pleasure.